today. So today I just want to do a quick little update. I have not posted many videos in the month of May. I had a lot of stuff going on, so I just wanted to share with you guys though. I did somehow manage to read 8 books in 6 days. I will give this full credit to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks on a 1.5 speed, so I buzz through them books. So as I've been working and doing other things, I've been listening to audiobooks and just pounding books out. I've gotten through a lot and I wanted to share them with you guys because most of these I am very happy with and I'm very glad that I listened to the audiobooks of. So the very first book on this list is actually a book I did physically read, so not talking about audiobooks. I physically read this book and I loved it. I do have a book talk up which I will link down below, so if you wanted to go check that out. So the very first book I read is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. Are you guys even surprised at this point that I read an SJM book in a couple days within the first week that it came out? We can assume we're not that surprised. So this book is the 4th book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. This one is actually just a novella, that's why it's nice and tiny. It is just a filler book transitioning from the 3rd book, A Court of Wings and Ruin, into the next book of the series, which will be from another character's point of view. The next 2 books on this list are 2 audiobooks, and these were ones that I had already previously started in April, and I actually just finished them. I was about halfway through, so I did listen to about half of this book, so if you guys want to dock me a book, I totally understand, but I am very proud of it because it adds to my Goodreads collection no matter what. And the first book is Winter by Marissa Meyer, so I have officially read the entire Lunar Chronicles. I am currently in the middle of Stars Above and I am loving it. Stars Above is the novellas, basically the origin stories of almost all the characters, and it is nice to see where these characters started and where they came from, now knowing where they ended up and how their stories ended. Next up on this list is a book, as I said, that I've already started and I got stuck in the middle of it. I could never seem to focus or finish or just find a way to power through this book, so I eventually got a hold of the audiobook. I listened to it, I finished it, and I'm so glad that I did. That book is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, aka Victoria Schwab. I read these books so far spaced out that I am not going to do a book talk on A Darker Shades of Magic, but I did thoroughly enjoy this book. It was a nice conclusion to the series. I do feel like the first half kind of took a little bit too long. I feel like the action was very drawn out and it wasn't necessarily needed to be drawn out that far, but this book was good overall and this series was fantastic overall. The concept was original, unique, and just overall amazing. I highly recommend all of V.E. Schwab's work if you have not read it. The next 3 books on this list is actually a trilogy and I listened to all of them on audiobook. However, I only physically have the first book, but I did enjoy the entire trilogy. I listened to it in a matter of about 3 days, so it was about a book a day. The series I am talking about is The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. The first 2 books I found very engaging and I went into this series totally blind. I completely and totally on purpose learned nothing about this series before I went into it. I do have some problems with this book and this series. There were some holes for me and there were some parts that were very drawn out. However, as a whole, it was a very nice read. It was a quick listen, quick read, whatever you want to call it. I enjoyed it. I do believe the series overall, I gave about a 3 stars review on each individual book. I do recommend these though. If you know nothing about them, that is amazing. Go into them blind. Don't learn anything. Just read them. The next 2 books on this list that I read in a matter of a very short time, I also listened to these on audiobook and the narrator was fantastic. She gave so much to this performance and these books really sang true. I have a book talk. I will post this down below if you wanted to go check that video out. And the duology that I'm talking about is the Monsters of Verity duology by Victoria Schwab. We have This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. This series was amazing. This was a 5 out of 5 read for me. I was so engaged with these characters, this world, the problems, the struggles, the efforts, just everything about this world I adored, and I unbelievably recommend this to everybody, no matter your reading tastes. So that is 8 books that I read in 6 days. What's the most amount of books that you've ever read in 6 days? Let me know down in the comments below. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As always, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.